Hi there, my name is Nancy, and I want to tell you a story about one of the most embarrassing things that happened to me. But first, let me tell you a bit about my background. I live a regular life with a regular family. My dad works in an office and my mom is a hairdresser. So it is safe to say that we are not struggling financially, but we are not rich either. 2 months ago, my father was transferred into a new branch. He knew that this transfer would be tiresome. It would make him leave the city and take us with him to start a new life in a new neighborhood with a new home. This also meant that I had to go to a new school. The school I was going to enroll it was known for having rich students. To be honest, I didn't really like it because I didn't want to feel left out and lonely and surrounded with rich people who won't take me as their friend. That's why I confronted my mother and father and big sister on breakfast before the first day at school. My sister said that I should pretend to be rich. My father laughed, but my mother advised me to not pretend to be someone else I'm not. I went to school and I was immediately struck by the beauty and the enormity of the building. The new school was 3 times bigger than the school I used to go to. I didn't find any difficulties finding my class. The teacher introduced me to my new classmates, but no one really cared about my presence. However, when I sat on my table, one of the girls struck a conversation with me. She asked the usual questions new student gets, like, where are you from? What kind of music do you like? Things like that. Her name was Stacy, and after only 2 minutes of talking, I knew we were going to be friends. I was amazed after class to see a group of girls wearing the latest fashions. They were clearly rich. It's because of these kinds of people that I didn't want to go to school. I was frozen and shocked, and while I was staring at them, I started imagining these rich girls making fun of me because I wasn't rich like them. They introduced themselves, and one of them seemed to be their leader. Her name was Monica. She asked me to tell her something about myself. At that moment, I thought about what my mother told me to do that morning, which was not to pretend to be someone else in front of others because that's not how people find their true friends. But I went ahead anyway and told the girls that my father was the director of a big company and that we moved to the region because it has bigger space and larger houses and that we have about one of the largest houses in the area. They were amazed, but I know that I shouldn't have said what I said. I was surrounded by my new friends and they started asking all kinds of questions like how many cars does my father own or whether we have a helicopter, things like that. While I was talking to them, Stacy was standing in the back and waited for me for a while, but instead of going with her, I decided to stay with the rich girls. Unfortunately, that lie led to a series of unfortunate events. I was supposed to come up with more lies to support my original lie. I was in a big mess and started regretting and feeling bad about what I did. But on the other hand, I became very popular at school and it was unbelievable. However, I knew that I was only popular because I lied. When we were having lunch, the girls decided to have a sleepover at one of the other girls' house. So Monica suggested that we go to my house. They were very excited, but I knew that something horrible was about to happen because once they see the real house I'm living in, they'll know that I was lying to them. After getting back home, I hurried to my mother and told her about everything. She didn't like the fact that I lied, but she was glad that I decided to share my problem with her. My mother advised me to tell the truth to my friends and hope that they accept me for who I am. And the next day, I gathered all the girls and told them the truth. It wasn't easy, to be honest, but it was really worth it. Monica said that they would still like to be friends with me. I was very happy to hear that and I felt a huge relief. I could stop lying to them now and I was able to keep them at the same time. But then Monica kept talking and told me that although they would like to be friends with me, but they couldn't be around someone who lies too much. I was embarrassed and my face turned red. Had learned a very important lesson. You may wonder why I decided to tell you about this story. Well, this story has taught me so many valuable lessons. I should always stay true to myself and be real. I decided to be someone else for one day and it was the worst day of my life. Don't misjudge people. Rich people are not necessarily arrogant. Those girls didn't want to stay friends with me by the end, not because I wasn't rich, but because I lied. Also, don't avoid people who care about you. I know now that I should have stayed friends with Stacy, who really knew me from the start. I hope that she can forgive me for neglecting her. And finally, I want you to know that your mother is the wisest person in the world. Please listen to her. If you like the story, please press like and subscribe to our channel.